I want to talk briefly about let me bring nope, wrong one. I want to talk briefly about the Kittydog thing. Because I don't want to cover the entire Kittydog drama, but for those who don't know, Kittydog recently has been called out for inappropriate behavior they were engaging in as a minor. And possibly as an adult too, and they came out and made a video basically admitting to a lot of things and trying to explain their actions and talking about how they were groomed. Which, you know, is a problem, and I believe that, because as a minor, they were surrounded by a lot of adults that were trying to get Kittydog and Kittydog's friends into sexual things. If you don't know, Kittydog is a person in the animation memes community, and was also someone mentioned in the Sashley drama as well. And I haven't had the time to like look into the entirety of the drama, but that is the part that really got to me, because there's another like 100K plus YouTube channel who just came out a couple months ago saying that Kittydog groomed them as a 12-year-old, or like while Birdie was 12, right? I'm not gonna spoil the surprise yet, the twist, and I hope you guys don't either spoil the twist. I want to go over just this small section. While Kittydog does say that yes, my actions were inappropriate back then, they argue that it is not grooming. Birdie wants to say that yes, Kittydog groomed me, and this is the section about Kittydog grooming them. I don't know anything about these two people. I've heard about this through the grapevine while looking into other dramas and stuff, and checking up on like old Sashley drama stuff, and came across this. And something about it really fucking irked me, because I thought we were past this sort of behavior.
So, do you guys remember when I was 12 years old and I drew porn depicting pedophilia? And instead of being concerned or wondering if I was okay, everyone got mad at me for it, and it ended up being the first thing that canceled me in the public.
Guys, remember when I drew CP, and instead of being, kind and caring towards me, everybody just got mad at me for drawing CP? Like, framing it as if it's a bad thing that everybody got mad at you for that?
Guy? Good times. You know I was groomed by Kittydog, right?
Fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
Okay, I know, that was a—
There's something about this really snarky tone that they open it up with that really bugs me. It's like using this grooming accusation as a gotcha.
If you aren't aware of who Kittydog is, which would be shocking if you weren't, she's this—
Yeah, don't spoil it, guys.
super duper popular animation memer who makes very sexual videos. I'm totally not—
Oh my god, an adult who decides to make adult content on YouTube? No fucking way.
surprised that this happened. And when I was 11 to 12 years old, she was basically my idol.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that art style either. Everything just sort of melts together in an art style like that. Like, nothing stands out. Like, the character tends to fade, like, blend into the background with a style like that.
And you can see where this is going. I'm not gonna get into the grotty details right now because it's genuinely traumatic for me, but I will include—
I'm gonna make this blatant accusation of somebody, but I'm not gonna get into the details because it's too dramatic for me. Where have we heard that recently? Oh yeah, the cursed person with the iMalex and iNabber situation, where they made a blatant accusation that iNabber basically abused them the same way iMalex abused his girlfriend, and then just said, I'm not going to show any evidence or go into details about it because it's too traumatic for me. Yeah, okay.
Kittydog encouraged me to make drawings like those, and that's why they exist.
Okay, so these are evidence of grooming, and they're just sort of flashing up the screenshots one after the other pretty quickly, and it's difficult to follow. So we're gonna pause and actually read these and see how many of these prove grooming. Now, I've actually taken a couple of notes here, because if we're gonna I feel like people throw around the word grooming way too often, especially in this art tart community. I wrote a couple of notes down, and these are things that we need to look for when trying to determine if something is grooming. God damn it, it spoils it. Okay, never mind, I'm not gonna say it just yet. But let's go through these
Screenshots in
screenshots.
this section.
What dat beak do at 12 years old? Stuff. I'm 12 because yes. Oops, I got it wrong. That's fine. What dat beak do? Hey, Vsauce, Michael here. Where are your fingers? My fingers, blush emoji. Haha, they're on my you-know-what. Oh, okay. Kittydog says, haha, they're in your ass. Alright, picture of a dog with a penis? Oh no.
Encouraged me to make
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
drawings.
Sending porn to minors, bad. Don't pass go. I hate forcing myself... I don't even know what the context of this is. I hate forcing myself not to fall in love, but I have to do it because subjecting people to my toxic love would hurt too much. Is this Kittydog writing this? I can't just keep loving people, draining myself and them after a couple of months. I can't hold a relationship longer than 6 months, then all of a sudden hurt them badly after making them feel like all my love and fake. TLDR, I love you too much to love you, but not loving you makes me feel alone. I'm so what, is it just vent art from Kittydog? Okay. Are you okay? Kinda. Why? IDK, someone makes Rule 34 of me and Sans is concerned. What? Nah, it's normal. You should draw Rule 34 of you and Sans, winky face. Wait, no, draw Rule 34 of you and me, winky face. Wait, no, I'll do it. So far, these screenshots look pretty bad. Pretty bad. An adult talking to a 12-year-old this way? Pretty bad, right? But get this, right? Listen to what Birdie says.
So I'd like to acknowledge it. The age gap wasn't, like, huge. I was 12 and she was 14.
I was 12. And she was 14. So there's the kicker. Kittydog was 14. There was a 2-year age gap.
But, like, let's not get caught up in the logistics of grooming.
No, let's not get caught up in the logistics of grooming, guys. Seriously?
14. But, like, let's not get caught up in the logistics of grooming. I am not misusing the word. I can confidently say that this is what this was.
Let's not get caught up in the logistics of the serious accusation I'm making. I know I'm using the word right. Because I know that this is groom. This is definitely grooming. All the evidence I'm showing on screen is definite grooming. So... alright. That's where we get to my notes. People are gonna say, like, hey, minors can groom other minors. It's possible. Yes, I know it's possible. Having that context in mind,
anyways,
I feel like we should go through these screenshots again, looking for actual signs of grooming. So I wrote down, grooming and minors being inappropriately sexual with each other is not the same thing. So there are some things that have to be proven and or considered to call something grooming. So first, we need malicious intent or intent to abuse. Meaning that they have to intend on grooming the person in order to sexually abuse them. So we need to look for that. 2, we have to look for, is this behavior unique to their victim, quote unquote. So are they acting like this just with Birdie, or are they acting like this with everybody, including other adults? Was it wrong for them to be sexual with each other? I mean, sending porn to each other, yes, but being sexual with each other? In private? No, as long as they're not sending porn or images to each other, I don't necessarily think that's wrong. But Birdie wants to say that this is grooming, so we have to look out for what's actually grooming. So if Kittydog is acting like this, not just with Birdie, but with other people as well, which is very likely in this case. You also have to remember that Kittydog was also being groomed at the time, and later on in this section, Birdie actually says, yeah, Kittydog was also being groomed at this time, but that's no excuse. So keep that in mind, that Kittydog is also being groomed by adults around this time. 3, are there clear attempts to isolate the victim from other people or keep their relationship a secret? So, what you're looking for is examples of Kittydog being like, hey, don't tell your parents about this, or don't tell your friends, or don't tell other people about this. We need to keep this relationship a secret, or let's just keep this between you and me. Like, this is our special little secret. That's what groomers do. They want to keep it secret, and they want to isolate their victim from other people. So we need to look out for signs of isolation, or secretive behavior. 4. Clear attempts at coercion or pushing established boundaries. And we're talking more than just, hey, are you okay with this? Are you okay with that? It is continuous. It is like a continuous and intentional effort to push like things that the victim is not comfortable with onto them, to keep pushing their boundaries further and further, to get them normalized, to get this stuff normalized to them. So what that beak do at 12 years old? It's a sexual joke about blowjobs between a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old. Kittydog here is saying, oh, my fingers they're on my you-know-what, probably their dick, and then, haha, they're in your ass. So, another sexual joke between minors. And, you see Birdie playing into it with the smiley face, with the emoji, so they're not really uncomfortable in this situation.
Kittydog and
Now, minors sending porn to each other is still a no-go. That's still highly inappropriate and wrong. That does not mean it's grooming, though.
encouraged me to make drawings like those.
And then this is just vent art about Kittydog being frustrated about their relationships and why they don't go right. But again, they're an edgy 14-year-old, so of course the relationships aren't going to go well. I don't know how this is proof of grooming. It's not. At 14, you're not old enough to realize you're being groomed and grow past the effects of it. Kittydog was definitely not being malicious here.
And that's why they exist. I know a few of you are probably going to say this as some sort of counter.
Okay, hold on. They're going way too fast
like
here.
Those and
hey man, I want to make fun of Dude with Lion Mask. I don't want to hear about 12-year-olds and 14-year-olds being weird. Then you can leave and come back later, okay? We're not always gonna talk about Lyo. That's an old topic now. We're gonna talk about other things. So instead of complaining about it in my chat, you can go and find something else to do, okay? Anyway, this starts with Kittydog saying, "Are you okay?" Kinda. Why? IDK, someone makes Rule 34 of me and Sans is concerned. Nah, it's normal. So Kittydog here, this could be the closest thing that you could say that this is grooming. But if you have the context in mind that Kittydog is being told by adults that this stuff is normal, of course they're gonna pass it on to another person and be like, nah, this is normal. So when grooming is involved, the person doing the grooming typically knows that what they're doing is wrong. That's not the case here. Kittydog genuinely believes this shit is normal because they've been told to it. They've been told it by other adults around them. And well, if the adults are saying that it's normal, then it must be normal, right? They say, "Nah, I never draw Rule 34." And Kittydog says, "Have you ever drawn Rule 34 ever?" A few times, but IRL and not on my computer. If you love Sans and have sex with him, winky face, should I be scared? No. Just fuck Sans. Oh, we can have a threesome. So, obviously, sexual talk. Talking about drawing an adult character fucking a minor character, pretty bad. But again, you have to have the context that Kittydog already believes that this shit is normal. And if you believe something is normal, you're gonna tell your friends that it's normal. Oh, why is this being used against Kittydog then? Because Birdie is trying to say that Kittydog groomed Birdie because of this. Because they had sexual conversations with each other as minors.
Probably gonna say this as some sort of counter-argument, so
And some kind of cartoonish NSFW. It makes him hard. Ooh, Birdie, you should animate a sexo. IDK how though? Also my animations suck, it would not look good. So this isn't Birdie saying, "No, I don't want to do that. Don't force me to do that." or anything like that. Not that Birdie is expected to know to say no. But still, I mean,
I'd like to acknowledge it. The age gap.
I incredibly low-key secretly shamefully miss you. Oh my god, a 14 being in a relationship with a 12-year-old? Oh my god! Oh my god! This doesn't prove anything. I secretly, shamefully miss you. That doesn't even mean anything sexual.
Gap wasn't like
Birdie, I have an important question. Do you have a cloaca? What's a cloaca? You're a bird. You gotta know what a cloaca is. I don't. A cloaca is bird genitalia. Oh, then sure. Yay. Again, not really grooming, just a sex joke.
huge. I was 12.
Or a sex question. Just, again, more sexual conversations. I want to be more than friends, so just saying that they want to date a 14-year-old wants to date a 12-year-old. Again, not grooming.
When she was 14.
I'm going to smash that cloaca. Hiccups. Fuck, I'm drunk. Is surrounded by empty bottles of sass. Is this true? Was Kittydog drinking at 14? Who knows? I hope not. Probably just a joke. Hopefully.
But, like, let's not.
I'm gay and I want to fuck a bird, but I have a boyfriend, so no. Okay.
Get caught up in the logistics.
Birdie can suck me in 2 different ways. This is a public post, by the way. Why did Nani like this? Ooh! But for... Okay, we don't know when this is happening, because this just says... Hold on, guys, hold on. This says 7 months ago. We don't know when this screenshot was taken, so they could both be adults by this point. We don't know. We don't know. And also, just keep in, like, see how cropped these screenshots are. These are incredibly cropped. So we don't know if these screenshots are happening in DMs or in some kind of public Discord server. We also don't even know who Kittydog is talking to or what their response was to this.
The word. I can
Wait, you, don't tell... Please don't tell 99999 people that I'm in Birdie phase. Please, please, plurs. I won't. Now, this could be the closest thing that we have to don't tell anybody, but they're already saying things like that public. So this could just be like, oh, it's embarrassing, haha, in a joke way, don't tell anybody. Right? But we don't know, again, we don't know if this is in DMs. We don't know if this is in a public Discord server. We don't know if this is around other people. It's so heavily cropped that we don't know where this is taking place or in what context. A teenager or a preteen, a 14-year-old being shy about crushing on another person around their age is not that unheard of. That does not mean it's grooming.
definitely say that this is.
No Square had its implications. That, oh my god, you just reminded me. Ponder in the Sashley video was talking about the, Ponder in the Sashley video was talking about about the animation meme community. And, actually, I could just fucking pull it up. Fuck it. Hold on a second.
There was Pocolana Problema, originally by Mirby. There was Momotaro, originally by Absoline. Bulgy Wolgy, originally by Candy Rat.
Bulgy Wolgy? It, like, in a community that's primarily formed of kids?
The Kini Bot, originally by Seal Maru. The No Square meme, originally...
And the No Square meme. Like, hold on a second, let's back it up a little bit. Huh?
You've got I Get All the Girls, originally by Forever Nika. The Halloween Dance by Dawn Claw 102. You wanna go really out there, we got the Tongue Waggle meme, originally by...
Of course people like Kittydog and Sashley were having this shit normalized to them. When you had memes like Bulgy Wolgy and No Square and Bikini Bod going around in those communities. So... big fucking shock that these kids would start acting sexual with each other.
What this was. There was a huge power dynamic.
Okay, power dynamic? I mean, sure, but it's not like you haven't shown any instances of Kittydog actively leveraging that to manipulate you. I can assume, like, okay, so Birdie established that they were a fan of Kittydog at the time. But we also have to remember that Kittydog is 14, and I haven't seen any screenshots of Kittydog leveraging their popularity to try and influence her in any way. Ooh, who is your girlfriend? Doge Dust. I'm happy that you found someone you love. Also, I'm out of Birdie phase, but I want to keep Cloaca Crystal as my Birdie phase. Obsess OC thing. Cloaca Crystal was a Sona Kittydog created with the purpose of drawing herself, essaying my Sonas. Okay, you can't just say that. Like, oh yeah, for sure it was sexual assault. Come on now.
Power she had.
That is a big accusation to make. How's life? I'm so horny, dude. Okay.
Over me, being
a teenager, a preteen being horny. She showed me her dog dildo. Who? Oh god, where'd she get this from? As a 14-year-old, possibly 15 at this point, looking at the date. What?
a massive crater that I
Why are we trying to make accusations of grooming? There's a much larger issue here. Hey, Sleepy King, smiley face. Hemlo, pass, Birdie. Haha, I wanna suck, mystery, hello. I can't see. This just seems like a teenager with no filter. I don't...
old enough
I have no context for that, so I can't judge it,
to
obviously.
consent to these things.
Wait, hold on. We need to keep up with what she's saying in the background, by the way.
There was a huge power dynamic. Kittydog was aware of the power she had over me.
Kittydog was aware of the power she had over me. Okay, prove it. Because so far you haven't proven it.
Being a massive crater that I looked up to, and I was not old enough to consent to these things.
I was not old enough to consent to these things. Neither was Kittydog! Neither of you were old enough to consent to these, and yet Kittydog is supposed to be the sole person responsible for all of her actions?
I was 12.
Yeah, and Kittydog was 14.
Another thing to bring into consideration is that apparently Kittydog was also being groomed during this time
Apparently Kittydog was also being groomed.
period, but this still doesn't excuse her behavior.
Yeah, it does. Because if Kittydog was being groomed, Kittydog is 14, Kittydog does not have the capability to consent, then yes, it actually does excuse her behavior and actions in that case. So many of these memes were suggestive. Yeah. So minors would see adults doing these memes, and then minors would start doing these memes, and then would be encouraged to do these memes, and have these things normalized to them, and then they start normalizing it to their friends who are also minors. That is not Kittydog grooming Birdie.
Especially when we consider COCSA to be a trauma response, which stands for child-on-child sexual abuse.
Oh my god. Okay, do we need to look this up? Child-on-child sexual abuse is a form of child sexual abuse in which a prepubescent child is sexually abused by one or more other children or adolescents in which no adult is directly involved. While this includes when one of the children uses physical force, threats, trickery, or emotional manipulation to elicit cooperation, it can also include non-coercive situations where the initiator proposes or starts a sexual act that the victim does not understand the nature of and simply goes along with it. Child-on-child sexual abuse is differentiated from normative sexual play or anatomical curiosity and exploration, e.g. playing doctor, because child-on-child sexual abuse is an overt and deliberate action directed at sexual stimulation, including orgasm. Overt and deliberate action directed at sexual stimulation, including orgasm. We haven't seen that. We've seen sexy talk and sexual jokes. Like, flirting is not sexual abuse. Most of this is just flirting. But there aren't any examples here of Birdie, like, saying, hey, I'm uncomfortable with this, stop it, and then Kittydog continuing. Again, I'm not expecting, like, her to be able to say no at, like, 12 years old, but still. If Kittydog doesn't know that you're uncomfortable with it or not okay with it, then they can't be held responsible.
I'm aware of the fact people are still going to defend Kittydog in this situation, but at least acknowledge the impact this had on me as a kid.
Sure, I understand the impact it had on you. It was wrong for you to be exposed to all this sexual stuff at 12. I think that's absolutely fucked up. But it's not Kittydog's fault. Kittydog is just as much of a victim of that as you are. because you were in a community that was constantly pushing sexual stuff on you. That is not Kittydog's fault, and Kittydog didn't groom you. To try and pass the blame off to Kittydog is really gross, in my opinion.
This led to the first time I got into big internet drama, and Kittydog completely threw me under the bus when this went down.
Kittydog threw me under the bus when this went down, doesn't show any proof of that happening. Admittedly, wait, hold on. Admittedly, Kittydog did not throw me under the bus. However, big however, she has had every chance to apologize to me for, you know, grooming me. She didn't. Or even acknowledge what she did publicly. Okay, private interactions with people is not something you have to acknowledge publicly. Especially when you were also a victim of it. But she never has. She pretends like it never happened because it's easy. It's been 7 years. She should have really said something by now. Yeah, your private business with somebody is not automatically like a public thing. Oh, God. This is so frustrating. Also, I just love that... this is funny to me. Hold on, just listen to this.
Time I got into big internet drama, and Kittydog completely threw me under the bus when the...
Kittydog completely threw me under the bus, and then inserts text where it says, actually, Kittydog didn't throw me under the bus. Then how about you just cut out the part where you're saying that Kittydog threw you under the bus? If you took the time to put in this text, you could have taken that time to instead change the recording to be accurate. Yeah, or maybe Kitty didn't see a need to apologize because there's a 2-year difference between you. Yes, but actually no.
She essentially made fun of me for being harassed while still pretending to be my friend.
She made fun of me for being harassed. And then the text says, holy shit, sorry, this part was just my BPD brain misremembering things. Please ignore me at this part. I'm sorry? Then leave it out of your video! I need to get that, okay, I need to get that voice clip of Jax just screaming at Lio. Are you retarded? Like, are you serious? You could have taken the time that you put into putting in this text to just say, or to just cut that part out. If it's not true, cut it out! I know I'm yelling, but shit like this, it frustrates me so much. Yeah, why wouldn't you just edit it out instead of adding text to it? I don't get it.
Later, when I was 13, she began drawing NSFW art of my sonas while also acknowledging that I was uncomfortable with it.
She started drawing NSFW my characters while acknowledging that I'm uncomfortable with it. Okay, are you going to show it?
But assumed that I would allow an exception for her because she's a popular
Are you going to show it? Screenshots?
I consented to her drawing porn of me,
Screenshots?
but it was only because I was scared to say no.
Screenshots?
She started drawing NSFW art of me
Screenshots?
that depicted her sexually assaulting me.
Screenshots?
Using a sona she made to represent her
Screenshots?
obsession with me while she was dating
Screenshots?
someone else, might I add. I was very
Screenshots?
uncomfortable. A year later, when I was 14,
Screenshots?
I vented to someone telling them how uncomfortable I was with her
Screenshots?
drawing art of me, and I sent some of it to them.
Screenshots? Okay, finally we get a... Yeah, dude, where? That entire string of time, there was no screenshots for any of that. Yeah, Mac, you consented, even if it was... Okay, first, let's establish real quick that minors sending porn to other minors is still unacceptable, and they shouldn't be doing that. But that is not indicative of grooming or malicious intent on Kittydog's... Enlaa's lobotomy. Enlaa, let it go. No screenshot. Let it go. I'm trying to prove a point here. You can't just say shit like this. It's one thing to say that you feel like somebody was abusive to you, but to say that somebody was sexually grooming you is a whole other thing. Okay? Birdie says that Kittydog acknowledges that she was uncomfortable, right? But then doesn't show any screenshots of that, or any proof to provide that. I think that she just assumes that Kittydog knew. Like, because hindsight is a thing. Like, retroactively putting intent on all of Kittydog's actions. So what Birdie said is that they vented about this NSFW a year later to a friend. I think Birdie said while they were 14, so that means Kittydog would be 16. And they said they sent some of this NSFW... Okay, wait, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Something in my brain just clicked. Hold on.
A year later, when I was 14, I vented to someone telling them how uncomfortable I was with her drawing this art of me, and I sent some of it to them.
She was venting to a friend about how uncomfortable this NSFW art of her made her feel, and then sent this NSFW art to her friend, who I assume is also a minor. So, are you trying to say, Birdie, that you, a minor, sent NSFW art to another minor? Birdie, that's grooming, by your logic. So wait a minute, should we condemn you for the same crime then, Birdie?
They ended up leaking it, and Kittydog found out, and
So this friend leaked this NSFW art, essentially leaked child porn, publicly. So Kittydog says, did you send people the NSFW I made when I had that retarded phase of you? If you were honestly hurt by it, you should have talked to me privately about it instead of, like, doing that. I agree. So yeah, I can understand why Kittydog would be a little bit frustrated with that.
leaking it, and Kittydog found out, and she got mad at me.
I mean, this doesn't look like Kittydog is mad at you. Where does it imply that Kittydog is mad at you in this screenshot? Birdie tries to frame this as Kittydog being mad at them, but it just kind of says, it shows Kittydog just being like, hey, if you were hurt by it, I wish you had told me that.
I will acknowledge that I should have communicated to her myself that I was uncomfortable,
Uh-huh.
but then again, I was scared to say no.
But also, she tried to imply earlier in this that, oh yeah, Kittydog knew I was uncomfortable with this, but is now backing down from that and saying, oh, well, they didn't know I was uncomfortable because I was scared to say I was uncomfortable. So therefore, it's still Kittydog's fault for not reading my mind and just automatically knowing, I guess.
And I didn't know how to communicate efficiently at that age, and
Neither did Kittydog! I didn't know how to communicate efficiently at that age, neither does a 14-year-old.
told me she was upset because the art was posted on my Encyclopedia Dramatica page.
So the child porn was posted on a public forum on Encyclopedia Dramatica. Huh, of course she'd be upset by that. I think you both would be upset by that. Okay, so I guess this is Birdie's response to the previous message. Yes, communicate your boundaries. I'm not blaming Birdie for not knowing how to communicate her boundaries, but I'm also not gonna blame Kittydog for not just instinctively knowing as a 14-year-old what those unspoken boundaries are. Sorry I was kinda dead, and pretty sure I did, but I was never really hurt. But I was never really hurt by it! So, I'm really sorry. It was a while ago when I was dumb, so I'm sorry. She literally says to Kittydog she was never really hurt by it. And still, Kittydog is in the wrong somehow for not just instinctively, magically knowing that, oh, actually it did hurt me. Okay, someone told me it made you uncomfortable and, like, now me in drama. Oh no, I hope the drama passes soon. I'm really sorry. Kittydog says, it's okay. I mean, there wasn't 99999 drama, no 9999 rants, but there was, like, a small bunch of people I knew talking about it, and then someone put it on Encyclopedia Dramatica, but it okay. So just saying, yeah, it's frustrating, but it's okay. It doesn't seem like Kittydog's mad at Birdie. I don't want Kittydog to be harassed. I'm angry at the fact nobody took the proof of her grooming me seriously, and that she overplayed how much backlash she got from it. I don't want the person I'm accusing of doing something highly illegal to get harassment from it. I don't want them to, like, get backlash for it. I'm just going to blatantly accuse them of grooming.
It was brushed aside as Birdie drama, and I got the blame for it because I consented, despite me not being old enough to.
Neither is Kittydog.
In her card, she expresses remorse for having hurt people in the past and vaguely apologizes publicly, but she never apologized to me.
Because she didn't do anything, like, that needs to be, like, publicly apologized for. You were both victims of grooming. What is she supposed to apologize for?
I'm not attempting to defame her or cancel her.
Yes, you are! You are accusing her of grooming you! Do you know how serious of an accusation that is? Oh, I'm not trying to defame or cancel her. I'm only just accusing her of a serious crime. Yeah, accusing with a 100k audience to so far 387k people that another person on the platform groomed you. Oh yeah, no, you're not trying to defame them. White woman moment. Yeah, no kidding.
I need you to understand that animation meme community was a breeding ground for grooming to take place.
Yeah, no shit. You and Kittydog were a part of that, and yet you're trying to minimize the effects of her grooming and trying to amplify the actions that Kittydog did to you. Completely disregarding the idea that maybe she was acting that way because she was being groomed by adults.
These kinds of videos were made for a child audience, and the adults in this community never called this out or took any action. A lot of the adults here took advantage of people like me, and
Kittydog? Oh, but Kittydog is just not in this equation, I guess. I like how she sets up this idea that this community full of adults took advantage of me and people like me. Oh, but just subtly leaves Kittydog out of that. Just leaves out the possibility that Kittydog was also manipulated by this community to feel this way or to act this way. Like, sure, it's fine to say that I was uncomfortable with Kittydog treating me like this. Or even, like, you could even say that you felt like Kittydog was abusive to you, sure. But calling Kittydog a groomer, that's, like, just way too far. And then there's no kind of evidence of grooming here. Like, actual, like, definitive grooming.
Which I think is a nice segue into our next topic. Do you remember Fontic, my partner at the time?
Yeah, these character things are moving around a lot, aren't they? Now that you pointed it out, I can't stop looking at it, Grimskull.
He was the one who leaked the NSFW art in the first place, which I honestly can't fault him much for, considering he was 11.
You sent NSFW to an 11-year-old? Birdie, by your own logic, doesn't that make it out like you were grooming an 11-year-old? I'm sorry, you sent you sent child porn to an 11-year-old? By your own logic, that is grooming. Huh? What? I wanted to pause briefly to sort of emphasize the irony here of Birdie accusing Kittydog of grooming them because they were trying to date Birdie while Kittydog was 14 and Birdie was 12 and sending pornography to them. While Birdie admits here that he was also dating an 11-year-old and sending pornography to an 11-year-old when he was 14. The lack of self-awareness here is just astounding. Birdie, how exactly do you intend to prove that you dating and sending pornography to an 11-year-old at the age of 14 wasn't some attempt at grooming? Let's not forget that Birdie said that I was groomed was not an excuse for this kind of behavior, so what the fuck is Birdie's excuse for this, then? Listen, I'm not frustrated at their past selves doing this shit. I'm not mad at their past selves doing this shit. They didn't know any better at that age. But she's like 21 now. She's an adult now. She should know better now than to say shit like this. But she's trying to pin the blame on somebody else. It's not her fault either that this shit happened, but it's certainly not Kittydog's fault. And it's not the 11-year-old's fault. So this is the section of Kittydog's video where they address Birdie's grooming allegation against Kittydog. So we're gonna take a look at this now. So I was looking at this and they mentioned the Birdie's video and I immediately paused this and I went to Birdie's video. So I haven't seen the entirety of this segment.
I feel it is important to address. I genuinely do not believe grooming is the correct word to describe this situation. Yes, I was an abuser. I pressured him and my behavior towards him was abusive, and in no way am I excusing that. He is traumatized by me and he has every right not to forgive me. It's very important to note that my age gap with him is 1 year and 7 months. He was 12 or 13 while I was 14. We were both under the age of consent, and I am not a pedophile. Some people are misconstruing this as a case of pedophilia.
And they'd be
yes,
wrong.
Pedophilia is not the same as grooming. It is possible to groom someone as a minor. But here is why I believe that this is not a case of grooming. Grooming is a specific and deliberate
Yo! Yeah, we just went over this. Goat Cato's in the chat? Didn't expect to see you going over beef with Kittydog and my ex. Hey, Goat Cato! I'm familiar with the Sashley drama, and that's how I knew about Kittydog, but, like, I promise you that this is, like, the only shit I know about Kittydog, and that, like, that's all I know. So I'm trying to only go over this one part of both of their videos, because I don't want to get into the weeds. Yeah, for like a month, then we were friends for almost a year in 2023. I see. But yeah, we went over Birdie's section of this, and now we're going over Kittydog's response.
Yes, sexual.
But yeah, Kittydog and I are both under the impression that no, this is not grooming. It's obviously not grooming.
I do agree with Birdie that this situation falls under child-on-child sexual abuse, or COCSA.
I don't think it's COCSA. Birdie left a lot of stuff out in that vid, but I can't really speak on a lot of that. That's okay.
Some people may rather call it sexually harmful instead of sexually abusive, as to further
Yeah, that's what I would consider it. And when neither of them consenting doesn't negate the possibility of sexual abuse. I know, but, like, I think there's, like, there's some nuance there, okay? I think it's extreme to call it, like, sexual abuse, given all of the context. I don't know, man. That's just my opinion.
Some of the screenshots in Birdie's video are lacking context.
Oh yeah, like, that's something I pointed out too, is that a lot of them are heavily cropped down.
I will show the full screenshots here.
Oh, good.
I did ask if he was uncomfortable and if I should stop multiple times. He said it was fine, and I was not getting him to make an exception for me because of my fame.
Okay, let's go back. These are really tiny, which bothers me, but I will read them to you. Wait, you please don't tell 9999 people that I'm in Birdie phase, please, please, please. I won't. Also, does it make you uncomfortable, or, like, what? Should I stop? No. Yeah, so Kittydog says, should I stop? And Birdie says, no, it's fine. Gee, I wonder why Birdie cut that out. Yay! Also, so you don't mind if I post some NSFW? Birdie says, no, that's normal. I wonder why Birdie cut this out. Yeah, but Kumo, that's not what happened here. Who says there's nuance? If we're 12 and I grape you, that doesn't take away the grape. But that's not what happened here, Kumo. You always do this. You jump to the most extreme example. Like, you can't compare Kittydog being like talking sexually with someone around their age to rape. You can't do that. We've already gone over, like, why it would be considered child sexual abuse in those cases, but that's not what happened.
This could be interpreted by some people as unintentionally grooming, but I don't know if that's a thing.
That's not a thing. You can't unintentionally groom somebody. That is not a thing. Kumo, you stated that them both being underage was the reason why it wasn't child-on-child sexual abuse. Kumo, the child is in the name. You're not understanding where my point was coming from. If you want to know, we went over the definitions, I think, before you got here. So if you want to know more about that, you can rewind, because I don't want to get into this argument all over again. Oh my god. If I said it like that, then I misspoke. Alright?
In the first place.
But you can go back further when I initially made the point, and you can see what the definition was, and us picking it apart. Where the initiator proposes or starts a sexual act that the victim does not understand the nature of, and simply goes along with it, not comprehending its implications or what the consequences might be. Child-on-child sexual abuse is differentiated from normative sexual play or anatomical curiosity and exploration, i.e. playing doctor, because child-on-child sexual abuse is an overt and deliberate action directed at sexual stimulation, including orgasm. You know, that's like trying to overtly elicit, like, sexual stimulation or a sexual response. That is not what's happening here. They're sex jokes. They're talking about cringe shit. They're doing light role-playing with each other. I don't think it's overt or deliberate. Directed at sexual stimulation. It is more akin to sexual play or curiosity and exploration than it is to the latter. That is my point. That is why I think it's not the same thing. That is what I'm referring to when I say that I disagree that it's child-on-child sexual abuse. It's still misconduct, it's still inappropriate, but I don't think it's abuse. Like, I don't think it's SA. Okay, and Birdie is saying with hindsight that they weren't able to consent and that they felt pressured by popularity and influence. If they felt that way and started to come around to the idea in hindsight, that does not mean that Kittydog is at fault for it in the moment. That does not mean that Kittydog in the moment leveraged their popularity to do anything like that. Kumo, I never said it had to be purely physical. I didn't want to have to get explicit, and I'm not going to get explicit, but I know what I'm talking about. You're not paying attention. Fine, Kumo, I disagree with your criticisms. Now I'm moving on. I asked if he was okay with me drawing that stuff, and he said yes. I obviously regret it now. Because, man, it was horrible, especially since it was also around when both me and Birdie were groomed. Oh, so this is them talking to a third party. Okay. So even though he said he was okay with it, he probably wasn't. Yeah, but that's still not Kittydog's fault. When I was 14, I didn't have a sense of proper boundaries, and in hindsight, I can see I was creepy and uncomfortable. Kittydog is not at fault because Birdie looked back on an interaction and regretted it. That's something Birdie has to deal with on their own terms. I agree. He also left out him suggesting gore fetish stuff to a presumed 11-year-old. Yeah, well, no, actually, he didn't leave that out. He actually pretty much said it. But just not in that way. Not with those specific words. I intended to reach out to Birdie in 2020 intending to apologize. I hope Kittydog shows screenshots of this, because again, this is just testimony.
In 2017. Birdie declined talking to me. These are screenshots from when I wanted to reach out and apologize to him.
Guys, can we please not fight in this fucking chat? My god. Guys, I asked to not argue about this anymore. I'm setting a boundary, and I want that boundary to be respected. Thank you. I'm here to make a quick public statement regarding Kittydog, as there's additional information on that my video lacked. I wasn't aware of this information prior to my video. Sorry, the text is small. To my video being made. We discussed things in private, and I feel it's appropriate to address some of these things publicly. One, I did mention that Kittydog was also groomed during the time period that they groomed me. So wait, is this back in 2020? Wait, hold on. Now I'm confused. Okay, so is this after Birdie made the video? Okay. I did mention that Kittydog was also groomed during the time period that they groomed me, but I didn't elaborate as much as I should have. I still don't have any of the specifics of what happened, so I can't really speak much on it. I mean, grooming is grooming, right? But I would like to emphasize that Kittydog was a victim first. They were young and learned from the actions of their groomers. She herself is still a groomer. No, she's not, because there was not intent to groom. And my trauma is still valid. It is, but that doesn't mean Kittydog is a groomer. COCSA is a valid form of sexual trauma in which an abused child abuses another. It's a cycle of trauma. At some point, Kittydog made a Google Doc taking accountability of the things they did, but I wasn't aware of it during the making of my video, thus it wasn't included. Kittydog was remorseful about it when they was remorseful about what they did and did attempt to reach out to me to apologize, but I had no memory of it whatsoever at the time period they tried reaching out. Oh, how convenient. Oh, I just didn't remember. I know I went back and went through all these screenshots to gather evidence of them grooming me, but in no way did I ever come across the evidence that they tried to apologize during that. Weird. I just don't remember. It was a traumatic time for me, and I most likely blocked it out. How convenient. I declined being put back into contact with her a few years ago, but I didn't remember it at all. The Birdie Mind animation was privated for reasons unrelated to my comeback video. They weren't aware of my comeback video until it was public. For real, grooming needs intent. You don't accidentally groom somebody. You can't accidentally normalize inappropriate behavior. I mean, no. You can accidentally normalize inappropriate behavior, but that's not the same as grooming. That's basically all of this in a whole. As a whole, sorry. In a whole is different. The Birdie Mind animation was privated for reasons unrelated to my comeback video. They weren't aware of my comeback video until it was public. The reason I assumed they privated it was an assumption I made while in the middle of a paranoid episode. Guys, it's my mental health's fault. It's not me being dishonest. My mental health, though. And it was unprofessional to include. It's also unprofessional to just accuse somebody of grooming when they didn't groom you. She wasn't aware of the power dynamic and the power that she had over me. I assumed she did because me being a fangirl back then played a big role in what happened. To conclude this point, I just want to say that I don't forgive them or support them. I mean, fine, whatever. It's a cool opinion. I'm still traumatized from what happened and their actions permanently affected me. I'm just here to provide additional information that fully contextualizes the situation. This isn't an attempt to excuse their actions, and I don't think anybody should, as far as I'm aware, even though they were a minor and did not have the capability to consent back then. As I don't know the individuals claiming to be hurt by her too, but I think it deserves to be mentioned. I would also like to make a point again to not harass her, even though I, am accusing her of being a child groomer. Yeah, don't go and tell her about it, guys. I had to make that a point in my video every 5 minutes because people are still going to do it anyways. Well, how about you think before making an accusation like that? Stop that. I've seen some really gross things. Don't use her being a groomer as a reason to be racist, ableist, transphobic. Guys, I know that I accused this person of grooming me, of being a child groomer, which is illegal, but what's even worse than being a groomer is being racist, ableist, and transphobic. That shit's gross, and I won't tolerate it here. Yeah, exactly. Say it in capital letters. You called her a groomer. Why didn't I come out about this sooner?
I did not publicize the situation with Birdie out of respect for his privacy and boundaries. I also believe...
Yeah, because at the time it was a private thing. No one is obligated to make all of their private business public when they become a public figure.
I believe situations like these should be handled in private. And since I was under the assumption Birdie did not want an apology...
Like, just to be clear, I don't know what else Kittydog may or may not have done to other people. I just know that this specific example is not grooming.
For me.
So that's all I wanted to cover about the Kittydog thing. Because I saw people going around saying Kittydog was a groomer for this, which is just dumb and untrue. And it's a really, stupid opinion, in my opinion. It's a really dumb accusation. And... it feels victim-blamey to me. Like, oh my god, someone who was groomed into being sexual with adults and minors was sexual towards another minor. Oh my god, they must be a heinous groomer. Is Birdie obligated to forgive them or let bygones be bygones? No. If they still want to see Kittydog as an abusive person, fine. That's completely up to them. I don't know anything about these two. And outside of this, I really have no opinion about them. Kittydog may be a piece of shit for all I know. What I do know is that in this specific thing, Kittydog is not a groomer.